Okay, we can start. Oh. 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 सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम् सत्यं परं धीमहि सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ततो जयमुदीरयेत् हरि ओम Will you share, Bala?
Yes.
Wait, I'll make you. Right.
Huh. Hmm. Hmm. You have to start from here, right? Krishna looks scared. Please read, Arti.
Krishna looked scared and he clung to her as though in sheer fright. Yashoda loved her son very much. So much so she felt like gathering him up in her arms and hugging him, but she thought that she had to act firm. And so she said, "All right, I will not beat you, but I am going to tie you up to this mortar which was your throne some time back. I will see how you can do any more mischief when you are so securely tied up." Yashoda brought a piece of rope. So just before this, the next part is very beautiful, but something very laukika that I wanted to bring up. See, Krishna looked scared and he clung to her as though in sheer fright. Yashoda loved her son very much so she felt like gathering him up in her arms and hugging, but she thought that she had to act firm. So now, with our children also, this is Yashoda Ma shows us exactly how a loving, unconditionally loving mother, she is being firm, but before the firmness, what is coming up? The love is coming up. Before the firmness, the loving coming up. Many times mothers will show the firmness first and then feel guilty.
That's anger. That is anger, no?
That is anger, that's frustration, anger.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay. It is
frustration.
not coming up as firmness, but when the love comes first,
Hmm.
then what comes is that firmness. Then that is a detached, that is love. It is, see, attachment is only to our thought. It is never to the child, right? It is never, even when we are raising our child. Directly, it is not the child. It is the thought about the child in our mind we get attached to. And
Hmm.
then frustration, pain, all of those only act, anger only comes up when we are attached. But here, the first it is love, so which means there is no attachment here. It is purely flowing. So then what is happening? She is beautiful, but she's thinking, no, I have to be firm. And she is doing, and she is telling, okay, I will not hit you, but I have to do something. I have to teach you a lesson. What you did was wrong. You need to learn. So I just wanted to bring that, love before firm.
Yes. Hmm.
Then
The
the child
centeredness.
will, the firmness is also there, the love is also there. Then there will be no disconnection with the child.
Hmm.
It
Because
is
we don't get the guilt thought, right? Like what Aarti said, it is the thought, it is not the child.
a,
No, that is disturbing. And when we are centered already, then there is only pure love there. Yeah. Then
so it is a person to
we,
person connection
yeah.
rather than connection through the thought. When a connection happens through a thought, whatever action comes from a thought, it will reach the BMI. When it comes from the BMI, the other BMI will also get up. When it comes from the person, then it will be a direct connection with the person
Hmm.
on the other side. Chalo. So,
This is the divine love, if you see, because if we look at it, we all might have had such um, situations, right? If we have had our children, whatever, depending. So many times, what happens if that love comes? Actually, the other way of looking at it, there are times where we just laugh, smile, and hug the child also, isn't it? It becomes like that sometimes. So that is a very worldly mothers. So, but the divine, it is out of love only divine is correcting us, giving us all difficult situations. Okay. Here it is different. Okay. It's for Krishna Leela. Okay. But that line, if we take, she had to act firm, and so she said whatever, then forgetting this as a Leela, if we take it for our thing, then sometimes, we forget it, and we just, if the child is too small, we think it is not needed. Then there are times where looking at that, I remember few instances where, looking at that fearful, we laugh and hug the child. Okay. But the divine mother, or the divine whatever, Ishvara, however, whatever name we put, that Shakti, out of love, gives us nice beating if it is needed. We always see that, right? That Gada, Shankha Chakra, Gada, Padma. The divine wants to give us only peace. That is the Tat Prasadat Param Shantim, says Krishna finally in Bhagavad Gita. It is that Param Shantim where he alone shines forth is what, divine is somehow peeping and ensuring that we get it. But out of our own resistance, when we are not connecting with the divinity within, then he forcefully comes out as some kind of a gada. Yeah. And then we come back. We surrender. All that happens. So it is out of love. That also can be taken. Our life situations, whatever. It is purely out of love. It is nothing else. Because sometimes we hear, of course, being in Bhagavatam for so many years, none of us would have such question. But there are many who sincerely ask, right? If God is so kind, why so much suffering? So to get to this point, we have to walk this path with faith. Otherwise, there is no ready-made answer for that. Yeah, only when we connect
Every
with it.
object, whether it's every object, every Vishaya of that sort is, whether it is a person, it is a situation, it is a desire, it is a pain, it is a thought. Instead of going into right, wrong, good, bad, if we can go into looking at it through curiosity, we will see that it is a stepping stone for our growth. With curiosity, we see why it is there. Should I go with it? Will it take me away from myself? Will it take me towards the self, towards my reality? With that curiosity, if we just do that inquiry, then we will have absolute clarity. Like what Bala said, that suffering, it can turn into a blessing. He gives it, it can become a prasad. He is giving it as a prasad only, but sometimes because of our own veil, we don't see the divinity behind it.
Only then we see the grace. Until then, we are not available. It is grace alone which is there. I don't recognize it. That's the thing.
Yeah. Okay. So Yashoda brought a piece of rope and placing Krishna by the side of the mortar, she tried to tie him up. She tried to tie up that absolute truth. Him who has no inside and no outside, who is above the worlds and below the worlds and in the worlds too, who is himself the universe and all the living and non-living beings in it, who, to save mankind, had taken the form of a human being, him, Yashoda tried to tie up with a piece of string. She bound him up and now began to tie the little boy to the mortar. When she tried to knot the rope, she found it was too short. Let us stop with that description of and then we will continue with this, right? It is so beautiful. Him who has no inside and na bahir prajnam, na antariksha prajnam. That Mandukya Upanishad, it says, and neither outside nor inside, who is above the world. So when we look at that awareness, that the I, the higher I, the self within, we cannot say whether it is outside or inside because it is everywhere. It is up, down, in the beings, outside the beings. It is there as the living beings. And it is there beyond the living beings. Non-living beings also. It is flowing everywhere, like Prahalada would say. Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro. Anorniyana Mahato Mahiyana. Within the smallest of the smallest to the greatest of the greatest. When we listen to this, we even understand Narasimhavatara in how the way, not in the dark, not in the dusk, none, all not. He appeared, right? That is that threshold, that is where it's not either inside or outside, it's everywhere, dimensionless, yet infinite. Just try and be in touch with that observer this moment. Observe your breath. And who is observing that breath? Turn around and observe the observer. Just to be with that observer. Is there a form? Is there any activity in that observer? Nischala? Is there any disturbance? Nirvikara? Anadi? Can you define its boundaries? As you're observing it, can you define a boundary? Can you say whether it is inside me, outside me? What is that me for which it is inside or outside? It is the me, it is at the threshold of that me, that I. There's no inside, there's no outside, it's just everywhere. Feel the love, the compassion flowing from this awareness, the Supreme Self. When you are with this awareness, when you are with Him, there is no aloneness because He is always with us. The merciful, the epitome of love, unconditional love, compassion, contentment. There's no sense of lacking, Purnam, complete. There is only that Purnatvam and nothing else. We'll gently come back to our bodies. You can open your eyes whenever you're ready. Yashoda brought a piece of rope and placing Krishna by the side of the mortar, she tried to tie him up. She tried to tie up that absolute truth. Him who has no inside, no outside, who is above the worlds and below the worlds and in the worlds too, who is himself the universe and all the living and the non-living beings on it, who to save mankind has taken the form of a human being. Him Yashoda tried to tie up with a piece of string. She bound him up and now began to tie the little boy to the mortar. You
Yeah,
have something to share, Bala?
we will listen to those two shlokas
Yeah.
because Bhagavata has a Samadhi Bhasha. Swami says that the more and more we read, we न चान्तर्न बहिर्यस्य. So nacha antarna bahiryasya. That which does not have antar bahir. न चान्तर्न bahiryasya न पूर्वं नापि चापरम्. There is no purvam behind and there is no param front. Purva param, that which is pervasive everywhere. Bahishchantar. So it is param. Param means here it is pervasiveness. That which is pervasive in Purva, Bahi, Antar. Purva param bahishchantar. Jagato yod who is pervasive in Purva, Bahihi, Antar, and the entire Jagat. First it is told like that. And then Yo Jagatchayaha, who himself is Jagat. So this is a very powerful, actually all these, are powerful pointers for meditation. He is Jagat, there is nothing else, nobody else. He alone is. As we center ourselves and lose in that stillness within, there's nothing else. That's what. So, and then in that, when we see this entire Jagat, everything shines forth as Him. That is what is Ishavasya Idam Sarvam. So very beautifully, Ramana Bhagavan also says, Nunnuru Unayam. So I recognize you as the subtlest of the subtlest within, as if within. And there the mind subsides. Ennalai irumindru. The mind subsides. Then what happens? Then the realization is, it is only Vinduru which is there. That Param, that pervasive. That is the Prajnana Ghana, they say. So that is here. Na chantar na bahir yasya na purvam na pichaparam purva param bahischantah jagato yo jagatchayah tam matvatmajam avyaktam. He cannot be perceived. He is not something which is born. So ajam. Ajam means that is not born. Avyaktam, which cannot be, we can say, okay, unmanifest, but otherwise is, which cannot be perceived by the instruments. Tam. So, this is the beauty of Bhagavatam. The way the words come. First, this quality is given, and then Matvatmajam avyaktam. So you are aja and you are avyakta. That, so tam, that is standing. Here also she's given that, I think. Martya lingam. That avyakta has taken. Lingam is, you can say, here you can take it as a form or some sign, anything. So, as if something which will die, he is taken that, or he is appearing in that form. Martyalingam adhokshajam. Adhokshajam is a very beautiful word. Adha means, you can say down, or here it is inward. Adhokshajam, that which is seen when the mind is turned inward. Adhokshajam. Gopi Kolu Khale Damna. So that Ajam, that Avyaktam, which is standing as a Mathyalingam, that Adokshajam, that this Gopika is trying to type. Gopi Kolu Khale Damna Babandha Prakritam Yatha. See how beautiful. Like a very normal child. Like Prakritam means, we can take it as normal child or something that is born out of Prakriti. See, this body is born out of Prakriti. This is made of Prakriti, right? But that Matyalinga which is seen is not born of Prakriti. It is a Vibhuti there. Yeah? Out of his own will, he has taken. Yeah? That's why it is not born out of Prakriti. Even when it leaves, it does not, it is not, even for jnanis and all, that is what they do, right? They don't burn. Vrindavana and all is built. So it's not a Matyalinga. Avatara Purushas, they are appearing out of their own will in front of us. That's all. Go and inquire, like what Aarti said, that curiosity to even go and inquire. Vasudev inquired and found that he was Atmadipa, all that we saw, right? The shloka. Adhyatmadipa. And Devaki also says that. So, when the Vibhuti is inquired, we know it is not a Prakritam. It's not made of this Prakriti body. Out of Anugraha. It is called Anugraha Shakti. In Lalita Sahasranam that comes, right? Srishti Kartri. All these are Shakti, right? So, this Linga, that's why always we see with the help along with his power, Yoga Maya, he takes this form. Which means it is his Shakti, which we call as Yoga Maya, which we call as Shakti, we call whatever, all those. So he's taken this form. But this Gopika is trying to tie like a Prakrita. Thinking like a Prakrita, is trying to tie. So this is kind of what do you say? Preparing, we can say, or I don't know. To what is going to come. Yeah. So it's very beautiful. Shukamuni is taking the mind to that alaukika vastu. Because otherwise, this Leela cannot be tasted. Tasted, I don't know the right word. It will not bring out the rasa. So he's saying it's not a prakrita. He is taken out of his own will, and he is showing himself as if he is a Martyalinga who does not come within the sense of the perception. Atmajam Abhyaktam, it says, right? Which who cannot be perceived is showing himself as a Martyalinga, whom she's thinking as a Prakrita. So she's telling for us also, it's not a Prakrita thing. Now, this is kind of a preface to what is going to come. He's given a nice preface now. Yeah. So, then now we can really relish is the right word. Relish this Leela. So he says, Taddama Badhyamanasya Svarbhakasya Kritagasah Dvayangulo Namabhutena Sandadhenyacha Gopika. So the Gopika, as she is trying to tie him, Dvayangula, 2 angula, about 2 inch it is falling short. Yeah, it's falling short, and then she is again tying it with another. Again she will tie. I think here also. Yeah, just go ahead, we will read it.
So she bound him up and now began to tie the little boy to the mortar. When she tried to knot the rope, she found it was too short. She got another piece and tied it to the one on the waist of Krishna. Again, after trying, she found that she could not tie him up. Again, she got another length and the same problem confronted. Can you go down, Bala? The length was not enough. It was short by 2 inches. She did not think what was happening nor why. She kept on bringing rope after rope, string after string, and all the rope in the house was exhausted, and still she was not able to tie up her little son. A crowd had collected around her by then. The gopis at home were watching her chagrin with amusement. Looking at her and her tired face, Krishna felt sorry for her, and taking pity on her, he allowed himself to be tied up. This entire universe is under his control, and with a piece of rope, Yashoda was able to tie him up. Is this not evident that the Lord can be tied up only with the thread, silken and fragile though it be, which goes by the name Bhakti? Yashoda was fortunate to achieve what Brahma could not, nor Mahadeva, nor even Lakshmi. This innocent gopi could grab him in her arms and tie him up to a mortar. Heaving a sigh of relief, Yashoda went inside the house to resume her duty, saying, I can have some peace now that you are tied up securely.
This is also.
What a simple,
Huh?
innocent, bhakti. Right? She says, no, right? Sorry, you wanted to share something.
Yeah, no,
Tell
no,
me.
you go ahead. Go ahead.
So that line caught me. She did not think what was happening or why. She's not wondering, I'm trying to tie him up. What? This is such a small child. Why am I not able to tie him? What is happening? No suffering. She's just trying to tie again and again, taking another big, another thing, another thing. He is here, and then that relentless effort without questioning why is this happening, what is happening, am I failing? No, I coming up there. Relentless effort is her bhakti. That is pure, innocent bhakti. In our bhakti, we have to relentlessly go after him. Go after him, want us to be tied with him. The length that Bhaskarji will tell about the 2 fingers, right? 2 inches wide or short. He will say that 2 inches, what does it signify? Do you remember what he would signify? He would always say that the Damodar Leela. This is called the Damodar Leela.
Oh.
This tying up. And the 2 fingers, I think Shraddha and Bhakti or something like that. Contentment and humility.
Must be.
These 2 are the most important. Contentment and humility. When that is there and you are with him, he will allow himself to be tied to you. We can't tie him up. He will allow himself to be tied.
Yeah. Even in our, whatever Anushta, whatever spiritual thing that we do, we, like what Aarti was saying, there is a seeking within, right? To lose ourselves in him. So, but that relentlessly, when that is there, it also brings out the point that yes, relentlessly we try, but as long as I'm continuously trying, he doesn't come. He's looking, he's giving us all the, very beautifully today I heard that Swami, I think in the morning satsang he was saying, actually yes, it is only when he finally looks at, when the failure, we can say, where we lose. Yeah, I don't know if it's called, yeah, where we are defeated completely. Only then he shines forth. Okay, as long as even a little bit of that I am doing is there, he will not come. But then why all this effort? Right? That's a question that comes. Then why so much of it? So very beautifully Swami is saying that is also a vasana kshaya. This has to go through that vasana. He is waiting until that gets over.
Correct.
That, we are only looking at vasana means worldly. No, that is one aspect. That also will, even our, okay, I'm calling. So every bhakta you take, the final whatever the katha, if you read, it is out of complete losing themselves. That is when he appears. It is that's the, that is how it is given as a. So that's what here also she gets tired there. Yeah. Then, okay, now, because, it has to go our buddhi must learn that it cannot happen with my effort. Yeah? Our buddhi will learn only that when that vasana goes. Until that, buddhi will not learn. Buddhi does not surrender. It is trying. I may not ask questions, but I continue to, uh, yeah, I may not even compare, but there is that if the subtler and subtler we go, we know how the buddhi just resists to surrender. That is why he allows that. Okay. Until finally, when we get tired and when we are ready, when we are not there, that is when he is there. That is where, that's the place. Naan udiyadulla nilai. Na maduvayulla nilai. So we are not there.
This is what is that Paurusham, he will say. Swamigal will always say Paurusham. You will keep trying, but that, see now even when if you want to do a meditation, I want to do every day, I'll keep trying, I'll failing few days. Then one day that he will pull us. It will happen beautifully. In all of this like that, when our surrender also, we cannot do, we will keep putting effort. When he that's when that surrender also, complete surrender will happen.
It has to just lose itself. Until that time, Lord doesn't, though he is there, until that's the unconditional, unmotivated, says. So unmotivated. Okay. Because that itself, so one nama I say, and then what has to pull? No, that nama itself is him only. There's nothing to, it is all here now. The moment that nama is there, he has come. So that kind of unmotivated, there's no motivation at all. Then we will realize, oh, that nama is him only. He shines forth. Till that time, I'm doing this to get you. Okay, we can cry, we can shout, we can fight, do whatever we want with our Antaryamin. He's there listening. And he's giving us that room to exhaust our ego. Yeah, first step is to say that I do not want this ego. I'm fed up. That conviction must be there. And then refuse to harbor any thoughts. Then the ego stops. Then try. Finally, he knows when it is. That is what is that Navanita also, right? That butter. That's why even in that Navanita Chora, they say, when butter is given, he does not take. He steals.
Has to come and steal it.
Yes. He knows which is ready, which is tasty for him to eat. He doesn't. If I give, it is still not. I'm telling, I'm offering. He knows how much is offered and how much is not.
But we have to keep offering.
Yeah. That is, yes. But only when that stops.
And then there is that patience, there is that.
That is not in our hands.
Yes, there is that endurance, there is that weight, there is that Shraddha. Shraddha, so important in that weight. And that constantly the try, and when it is ready, he will know. Come and stay us.
For that fear. That's what it is. Evam samdarshita hyangam harina bhritya vashyata. He is in the vasha of his bhritya, the one who has completely surrendered. Swabashenapi krishnena yasyedam seshwaram vashe. Until he decides to come to somebody's vasha, nobody can put him. That's what. Krishnena, it has to happen by him only. Yes, yedam seshwaram vashe. Yeah. So, which the entire thing is in his control. See how nice it is. Swavashenapi Krishnena. So, Krishna himself allows to be controlled. The one in whose control everything is. Yes, yedam seshwaram saha ishwaram. Yeah, everything is in his control, and he is allowing himself to be controlled when to a bhritya, to that bhakta who has surrendered. No, we hear so many bhaktas stories on this, right? How he comes.
And this line is so beautiful. I can have some peace now that you are tied up securely. It is so how would I say? It can be so innocent. You can imagine Yashoda saying to a child, I can have some peace, but truly, if you are with that divine, you have peace.
That's all.
That's all.
Like that Zen story, you know. Before he was what? He was what? He was washing clothes. I don't know. Some
Woodcutter or something.
woodcutter. So something he was doing. So before Zen, what were you doing? Yeah, I was cutting this. After that, I'm cutting this. So Yashoda is going back, but she has that. She is tied. Nothing can move her from that center. That's it. That beautiful anecdote that Ramana Bhagavan's, I think we have shared it many times, where Bhagavan, it comes, I think, in the very first, in Bhagavad Gita commentary, I don't know, somewhere in Swami's book or Swatma's book. So Bhagavan is sitting there in his couch, you know, at Nishchala, and there are many fruits that are kept. Yeah, many devotees are sitting there in that hall, and a monkey comes there, and a monkey picks up a banana. And when that monkey was picking up the banana, Bhagavan's glance fell on the monkey. And that monkey looks at Ramana Bhagavan. And Swami writes 6 to 7 minutes. A monkey is something which is taken as an example for our mind. Monkey mind, we say, right? Something which is so much of Vata, what do you say?
Chanchala.
It's just, right? Flickery mind.
Chanchala.
Chanchala. So, this monkey, 6 to 7 minutes, was hooked on to Bhagavan's glance. It's there. Still, that stillness, they say, when such a thing was there, you know, it used to be like a current, it seems, in that entire place. I'm just thinking about it. So this monkey was also there 6 to 7 minutes, and then it takes the banana and it moves. So Bhagavan looks at the monkey and asks, ஏன் அப்படியே இருக்கிறது தானே என்ன சாம்ராஜ்யத்தை பிடிக்க போற? Why can't you stay like that? What made you move? What empire are you going to conquer? This is the Upadesha for all of us who leave this piece for something else. Nothing outside. For a very small thought that comes out in the mind, this piece should be tied within. That is what is holding on to Bhagavan. The peace is there. Yes. Peace alone is be connected with it. Recognize that inner peace. And then, like Yashoda, do. Her duties were not less. She wasn't. But recognize that inner peace within her. Do not allow the mind also to jump with the... That is when ahankara comes. Otherwise, thoughts are there to do the duties. No association with it. I am this peace. I am not the thoughts that arise. The moment I identify with one thought, yeah, I have this work to do, that work to do, gone. One small little thought is disturbing our peace, means we need to really see. So this is a Mahavakya from Ramana Bhagavan. என்ன சாம்ராஜ்யத்தை பிடிக்க? By leaving this peace, what are we going to achieve in life? That's the thing. There's nothing else worthier than the inner samatva. That is God. That is Bhagavan. That is Ishvara. That is Brahman, whatever we call it. Krishna.
The twin trees in the courtyard. You want to read, Bala? Okay,
No,
I'll
no,
read
I was
this.
just
You can
reading
read.
this, that's all.
Krishna sat on the mortar for a while and he got bored with sitting quietly. He played with the monkeys for a while. Something, Bala?
Yeah, no, he can't sit quiet.
Yeah. He played with the monkeys for a while and even that game palled after a time. He then began to crawl with the mortar trailing behind him. He was going on all fours and he reached the front courtyard of the house. Some boys were playing at some distance. Otherwise, there was no one around. Krishna saw two big trees growing together like they were twins. They were the Arjuna trees. Krishna paused for a while. Then he went between them. He crossed the spot where they were joined, but the mortar got stuck. Krishna pulled the mortar along with him while crawling and he went on without looking back. There was a sudden noise. The trees had been uprooted by the mortar, which Krishna had dragged along with him. They fell to the ground with the crash. Out of each of the fallen trees, there rose a glowing form. The two fell at his feet and said, "Great is our good fortune. The curse of Narada is now ended. Since your gracious feet touched us, we are now pure enough to go back to our abode in the earth. We can go back to our father Kubera." They then vanished from the earth. The curiosity of Parikshit was okay. We'll go to the curiosity next. Something. This is very symbolic again. We'll continue.
No, you have something, please share. I thought I had to.
We'll go down. Let's get the whole picture and then we will talk. The curiosity of Parikshit was aroused. He said, "My lord, please tell me the story of these two sons of Kubera. Why did Narada curse them?" Shuka said, "I will tell you. Kubera, the lord of wealth and guardian of the northern quarter, had two sons by name Nalakubera and Manigriva. These young men were young, good-looking, and naturally rich. It goes without saying that as a result of these blessings, they were arrogant. Once on the banks of the celestial Ganga, which was flowing at the foot of the Kailasha mountain, these two young men were sporting with their women. They had taken too much of the divine drink by name Varuni, and they were deaf and blind to the world outside. They were sporting on the waters of the Ganga like a pair of wild elephants with their harem. Narada, the divine sage, was passing
This is
that
the
way.
danger, no? That can happen when we are in a very. This is what Swargaloka they say, right? When we are indulging. This is a danger. Deaf and blind to the world outside. It's a very, very important.
When you are not with the proper satsanga and you start talking, you don't know where you go sometimes, what all kind of, you can go very far and you don't feel very good if we are not in the right sangha.
Yes. And we get when things are just so comfortable and what do you say? Yeah, so much comforts. Then see, naturally they were young, good looking, naturally rich, everything, no? All that can delude. So that made them arrogant somewhere. I heard that. It's not here. Guardian of them, these young, good looking, rich. It goes as a result of, they were arrogant.
Yeah.
This brings that. Arrogant means I have my, I think I just think too much. I have my ego that on the beauty, on the rupa, on the wealth that is there, that just takes us a ride. But it doesn't take them for a ride, we will see. Because they somewhere had done some.
So one, if you look at Krishna's that tying, and see, once you tie yourself, you are trying to tie and be with him, be with him, be with him, be with him, and you are trying to tie him up in with you somehow. He is giving permission, and you are normally going around doing your duties. Now he becomes responsible to remove whatever remaining obstacles are there as a pull. He is moving about here and there, and whatever we will continue to read this story. They were sporting on the waters of the Ganga like a pair of wild elephants with their harem. Narada, the divine sage, was passing that way by chance. He saw them, but they, even after seeing him, were too drunk to pay any attention to him.
See, this is not just drinking.
This
Are
is
we able
drunk
to
in
recognize
delusion,
Naraja?
drunk in your senses.
Yeah, this is
Sensual pleasures.
one example, but when we get drunk in moha, divine sage is ever present. Are we sensing the presence of Narada right now? If not, then I am drunk in some moha. That's it's not just some, uh, getting drunk, not just that. Bhagavatam says that later, we all have drunk that, what is that called as? Ahankara moha. Ahankara, not even in the pride. I am separate from the Lord. Basic avidya is the root cause of the harm. That's how we. So attention is not given there. Attention is to the world outside. Yes. But it was Narada. So we will see the beauty of that so-called curse.
The women rushed to the banks and quickly covered themselves up with the clothes which they had left there. Then they saluted Narada, but the two brothers heeded him not. Arrogance, and he wanted to grace them with the good fortune of being saved by Krishna.
Breaking your voice.
You read, Bala.
Are you there, Aarti?
Some internet. Yeah, can you hear me? Can't you hear
now
me?
yes. Yeah. Now yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Narada wanted to cure them of the dreaded disease which goes by the name arrogance, and he also wanted to grace them with the good fortune of being saved by Krishna. Narada spoke. He said, arrogance. A high-born prince is arrogant. A scholar will sometimes be arrogant. Rajoguna is often the cause of arrogance. But there is arrogance of a different type, different from all the others, and which is far worse. It is the arrogance born of Shri, wealth. Because with wealth, man gets involved with women, with gambling, with drinking, and when such a formidable arrogance visits him, Man loses to ordinary rules of decorum even. Man loses his self-control and he becomes devoid of even kindness. He deludes himself into thinking that this body is permanent. To satisfy the thirsts of this body, he does not hesitate even to kill. The king who rules the entire earth and the beggar on the roadside are both equal. When death comes, it equals them and both are reduced to the same handful of ashes. But the arrogant man does not realize this. He kills not realizing what is in store for him. This body belongs to the one who feeds it, to the father and the mother who made it, and in the end to worms like ants and animals like the dog which consume it. Only a fool will consider this body to live forever, since he does not know the difference between the body and the dweller in it, the Deha and the Dehin. To one whose intellect is clouded because of arrogance, the only cure is poverty. Only a poor man will know that he is equal to the animals. A man who has suffered the pricks of thorns for lack of a better bed, whose face is weak for want of food, such a man will never wish another living being to come to harm. Even so, a man who has not gone through these tortures will not know the meaning of the word compassion. Oh, who has not gone through these tortures will also not know the meaning of the word compassion. So, in a way, it is describing wealth as poverty. When you have the wealth, see that desire, no? That desire, it is a two-edged. It comes as raga dvesha. I want something, I don't have something. I don't have something, so I want something. I have something. So it is like a two-edged sword. Constantly, I feel like I don't have something and I have to go after something in the world to fill it. Once you get into that, and then you are feeling empty, you go for the desire, you fill it. It is intoxicating again and again. What happens when somebody drinks? They get a high. Now they start missing that high. And they keep going after one again and again. They have to drink to be able to feel that high. The first time they experience the high, they have a craving for that high and a dvesha for that not having that feeling. So they keep wanting more and more of that. Craving keeps growing. So they go after that, they go after that. And then it becomes so, this raga dvesha, right? This kind of this intoxication is not only for an intoxicant, it can be for wealth, it can be for many things. I was recently then talking to a person who has a high level of fear of talking to people. So when people come home, she would not open the door. What will I talk? That so because when she was in college, she was an introverted person, and so many people were talking, and she's developed this feeling that I am not good enough. Everybody is talking. I am alone. So she started having a dvesha for her state, that I am alone, I don't know how to talk, and a raga for how others are, and in that process, constantly feeling like she's not enough, she's not enough, she's not enough, and going on getting books, how to read, what to do, how to talk, and all these things. So everything becomes, anything is intoxicating if we are going to the world after that, if we are going after the world for fulfillment. We just have to turn inwards, and in our awareness, Krishna within, we are Purnam. He is Purnam. If can be in touch with that Purnatvam within, no object of the world is needed to fill us.
The two things they say, no? The Prakriti Purusha we know, right? Similarly, Swabhava Swarupa. So Swabhava can never be perfect. Swabhava. So accepting the imperfection in Prakriti is Purnatva. That's all. It is nothing else. Just accept the imperfection in the Swabhava. Not to declare I am like this. Again, that is another. No, we are not talking about that. Yeah. There are certain things,
It is like saying, yeah, there is an imperfection.
It is an, yeah.
But there is a perfection in that imperfection.
That's all. Just accept that to see that inner being which has designed it like this.
Yeah.
It is his design, no? Then who am I to question?
What is perfection? In perfection, there is contentment. In perfection, there is compassion. In perfection, there is, when do we feel perfect? We are joyful, when we are contented, when we are happy. Okay. Now this imperfection, if we accept it, we will be contented, we will be joyful, we will be happy. And that joy, that contentment, that happiness is the Purnatvam, which is the perfection.
Perfect.
Which
Yeah.
is the perfection.
Yes.
So we just have to accept. We can accept like a friend. We can accept like a mother accepts the child. We can accept that Swabhava, I'm saying. That Swabhava. Did I break again?
Little bit, but yeah, there was continuity, I think. Like a mother accepts the child.
Like a mother accepts the child, like it can be like a
Is it breaking or are you thinking? She's gone, I think.
rises.
Aarti?
Oh, okay.
You were in that thinking for a long time. So, are you?
Yeah. So whenever a pain arises, from that observer space, just tell that pain, it's okay. You are safe. You are all right. Nothing is wrong. You're fine. When that emptiness comes up, just say, no, you are fine. That emptiness is another form of pain. Just to say you're safe. You are fine just the way you are. I'm just saying this is one. It's not about the words, it's about accepting. Acceptance is to say everything is fine just the way you are, just the way it is.
This acceptance, no? If we have to really get that, two ways, Vedanta, Bhagavatam, there are two ways. Jnana, the one who is, we know it is not there. That jnana has to come. The buddhi, when it is convinced, more and more of reflection and shravana and satsanga gives that knowledge that they all are just appearing in sat and these all are asat. They are appearing and they dissolve. Janmadhyasya yataha. Yeah, they rise like waves in the water. They stay for some time and they go back. Even when they are staying, it is water. Yeah. So knowing that. Same thing in bhakti. It is water. How do we know when it is staying? It is all forms of Lord. That is why Bhagavatam again and again talks about that Purusha, the cosmic being, right? Where everything is his part. It is like the trees are his hair, so many things we have seen it. It keeps coming again and again and again. So all these, so everything, all this swabhava, what we say, this body or, all the karma, kala, swabhava, these are the three things that Bhagavatam talks about, yeah, which appears So all these are him only. Kala, yes, this situation comes, he is very beautifully, once I heard, it was so fantastic. Swami says, the message by every situation, by every interaction, in every thought, in every vritti, Krishna is constantly talking to us. That is the true Bhagavad Gita. If we read, the fruition of reading this Bhagavad Gita is to tune to that true Bhagavad Gita. It was very powerful when I heard that. How beautiful it is. That's
Say
all.
that again, Bala.
Huh?
Say that again.
Every situation, every thought, every interaction that the life presents, is actually, in everything, Bhagavan is talking to us. Bhagavan is giving a message, something. Tuning to that is the fruition of reading his Bhagavad Gita. That is truly his Bhagavad Gita. It is individualized, it is personalized for all of us. It's not the same. This Bhagavad Gita shloka, we read the same, but when it becomes our own, when this Bhagavad Gita becomes our own, that is when truly we listen to his Gita. Listening to his Gita is perfection, is joy. That is the fruition. So it was so, I'm getting good. It was so beautiful. such things. So that is the thing. It is not about, I don't know why we went there.
We were.
We were and we went there. I don't remember. But yes, that's the fruition of Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, everything, Yeah.
We were talking about the perfection in the Swabhava.
Yes.
When that acceptance of the Swabhava is perfection.
That's
is
all.
being in touch with the perfection.
Yes, that's all. So either see it as impermanent, or see everything as Bhagavad Swarupa. Then they say, Kabalita Ghana Vishwarupa. That inner being will just kabal and swallow. Means what? Everything is seen as him and him alone. Jagatcha, we saw this here, no? Jagatchaya. He is the Jagat. It is the fruition. There is no separate I. So, but when we are caught in this deha,
that is why when they say, sorry, continue.
Go ahead.
It is the arrogance born of Shri wealth. So we see that is why Lakshmi Devi is at the feet of Narayana at all point in time. That is absolutely necessary. It is true that wealth is also at his service. We had seen the story of Nabhaga. Earlier, where Shiva comes and says, everything belongs to me. You are just a caretaker of. So the wealth does not belong to me. When we make it mine, that is when all the sensorial pleasures come in. First mine comes, then the sensory pleasures. If we know it is all his, how will we use it? How will that wealth be? It is just handed over, right? It is at his service. That symbolism, that image of Lakshmi at the feet of Narayan. That is dharma.
Dharma itself, if we see that even if I'm sure each one of us would have heard that from elders at home, our ancestors, it's so much of importance is given to, first of all, get wealth in a dharmic way, and how to use that wealth. Not to take everything to ourselves. All those are given in our Sanatana Dharma. Such a beautiful way of life that rishis have designed for us. If we just stick to that, that itself is um, it's a great spiritual life, actually. That is why they say being born in Bharata, it is not about just being in this land. It is living as a Bharata. We can live anywhere as a Bharata. That doesn't matter. It is this rishis, they all have given this glorious lifestyle. Finally, it comes to our day-to-day living. That's what spirituality is not about. Always Swami says, no, you go attend some 10-day of yoga course, meditation course. Nowadays, some season he says in Tiruvannamalai, it becomes one self-realization course. You take 10 days of leave, come here, go back realized. It doesn't happen like that. It may give. They say, what he says, வாஸ்தவமா ஏமாந்து போயிருப்பா. Because when we are there, when we are not tasted, there is a higher taste that comes, when we go to such sacred places and then we are in a good sangha, that ego is very low there, that higher taste comes. So many people may really think that is what it is. But once we go back, we realize, oh, it's all gone. He gives a glimpse. But how can that become our own is by living such glorious life. I remember that because this is what our rishis have given, this way of life, this whatever is in wherever we are, to take that and make our daily living a puja, a worship. That is, real being a Bharata. Swami Vivekananda's statement, many times Swami quotes, he says, it seems Swami Vivekananda told everybody, this land of Bharata, the lifeline of this land is spirituality. Giving that up and taking to any other craft. So in that craft, we can bring in so many things in today, right? So many things. Giving up. It's not about taking up some other craft, giving up spirituality and taking to some other craft. Take it from me, this land will perish in 50 years. Swami says it is a declaration of a great rishi. We must know to value this lifeline of our country. Many are there nowadays, but then still we must know to value this. And how many of us really, we lost it. But that day I was asking Balya children also, how many of you all learn Sanskrit in school? There are very few schools who are offering Sanskrit as a third language. International schools do not have it. And we put our children in international schools because there is no competition, there is so much of open, all that is fine. But the root is gone. And then after they grow up, we sit
that generation they are creating. But what about that? So this is something I had been to Tiruvannamalai. Okay, it's already time, but I'll quickly talk about it. Okay. So just 1 minute, but they were talking how when you are living your life, we need to see. This was a good measure they gave. The way, what are you carrying through your children? Okay? The future generation and their children. If you are dead and you are born back into this family, would you like to be where they are? This is a good measure. Would you like to live in that world that way? So that is the way you need to create. That is the way you need to live your life and give that samskara to the children. Okay. Would you like to live like that if you have to be born to your great grandchildren or grandchildren? So that is the measure in the mind we should give, because what samskaras, it is not just only about us. We are leaving a samskara for the future generation. It is very important how we take them. We say, okay, now we are looking at all only this is difficult, this is easy, here competition is high, let them go to the US, there they can live. Then what happens after that? The choice we make today will decide the future. of our own descendants, lineage, and everything.
Three generations, no? We have seen the Shraddha Karma, we know 3 generations above, we have Runa only till that. Yeah. Now I may be carrying the nose of my grandmother. Sadhguru says that. So 3 generations above. And whatever is here, it gets passed on to 3 generations below. That's why there is always 7 pinda, So it is all properly. There's so much meaning
the
also.
samskara. I hold the samskara that I pass on to the children.
Yes.
Also is very, very important. What I hold is what I will pass on.
Yeah. It is about living. Again, passing on is not telling.
Correct. Pass on matlab when the way I live is
The way I live.
the choices we make, the decisions we make, the guidance,
Yes, everything.
all of that. Chalo, we'll close the session. Om Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ